I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to stand behind me and tell me, about what's right and what's wrong.
Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for a
Gervonta Davis has reunited with Floyd Mayweather ahead of his rematch against Lamont Roach. Mayweather says he still supports Gervonta and is proud of everything he's achieved. He described Gervonta as a kid to him and said he doesn't take anything personally if Gervonta speaks out. Floyd made it clear he wants Gervonta to succeed and hopes he brings more power and focus into the upcoming fight.
Tank Vince out on social media. He's been through a lot, throughout his life. But I take my hat off to him. I'm proud of him. Saturday night we had a game plan, and a lot of times when he says certain things on social media, I say, he's to me he's still a kid, and when I was that age, I probably would have did the same thing. I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to stand behind me and tell me, about what's right and what's wrong. He got the job done, but my hat off to Ryan Garcia. Tough competitor, tough fighter, and the best man won.
Recent footage from Gervonta Davis's Las Vegas camp showcases a fighter deeply immersed in preparation as he sharpens his skills ahead of the rematch. Every sparring session seems meticulously structured. Observers have noted increased stamina, precise footwork, and full engagement in drill. Sources sharing insider clips describe a laser-focused Davis maintaining peak conditioning and a razor-sharp mindset. When Gervonta parted ways with Mayweather Promotions, Floyd Mayweather offered public support. He praised Davis's ambition, emphasizing self-determination. More power to him. Floyd's stance reinforces their bond, acknowledging Davis's desire to control his career trajectory even after separation. This sentiment underscores mutual respect. Floyd's pride in Davis's growth and Gervonta's drive to step into his own. Both speak of a mentor-protege relationship grounded in empowerment rather than ownership.
It's nothing like taking a kid that come from the same background as you and helping them and put them in a position to become a multi-millionaire. You meet a kid, he come up to you for an autograph. You sign an autograph for him, then I tell him, in a few years when you get older, I'm gonna work with you and I'm gonna make you world champion someday. Years later, I started working with him, helped him, pushed him to be great. And if he feels like, his wings, he's grew wings where he can fly and become his own boss, more power to him.
Mayweather continues to monitor Davis's career closely, particularly his standing on the pound-for-pound list. Concerns arose that Davis wasn't receiving P4P recognition due to his ties with Mayweather Promotions. Floyd addressed this, expressing that affiliation shouldn't penalize talent. His support has become a voice for fairness and recognition, reiterating that Davis merits top billing regardless of team alignment. This advocacy echoes mentorship. Floyd's care extends beyond coaching, impacting reputational spheres in boxing.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Davis? He deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
In a bid to leave no room for error, Davis has embraced full accountability in camp. He's brought back trusted coaches, reassembling the inner circle from his peak years. This move reflects intense sparring partners, conditioning specialists, and strategic minds who understand his style. They've identified prior missteps and addressed them through rigorous sessions, drills, situational sparring, and high-pressure conditioning. This holistic check ensures Davis enters the ring with zero blind spots.
Was anybody else who is a Tank Gervonta Davis fan nervous watching that fight last night? I was nervous after probably the third round. I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. Here's the thing. I think we all know Tank didn't take this fight as serious as he should have. In the post-fight press conference, he said he didn't know what round it was. He said he lost track of the rounds. Like, that's not like him to do that. But I think he went in with the same game plan he typically does, where he just like wears these guys down and then kind of baits them into just a crazy uppercut counter. And if you saw in the 11th and 12th round, he was going for it, but he couldn't connect it because this Lamont Roach guy, he's fast, he's quick. And as a Baltimore native, I wanted Tank to win. I wanted him to win. The whole Be More DC thing, I wanted him to win. I don't know if y'all saw when Tank was getting his hands wrapped, he was yawning. Like, he didn't take it serious. But one silver lining is that he's probably not retiring now. He's got to take that rematch. And here's the thing, when he takes that rematch, when they do fight again, this fight, Tank's going to win this handily. He'll probably win it in like the 7th or 8th. But yeah, it wasn't a draw. Tank lost that fight. Yeah, he took a knee. Strategically, he took a knee. But he took a knee. Tank lost that fight, unfortunately. But I'm excited for that rematch. I feel like it's probably going to be the most watched boxing match in history.
Gervonta's split from Mayweather Promotions stirred headlines. Call it a public disagreement, made all the more stark because of how visible it was. Davis wanted autonomy, Floyd prioritized structure. That tension framed a narrative of mentorship tested by professional ambition. Now their reunion prompts renewed dialogue. Observers see reconciliation not just as closure but as a strategic alliance. Both men appear to have agreed the breakup may have been necessary, but reaching back now signals maturity and a shared agenda moving forward.
And I expect to get respect by letting me speak.
Thank you. Floyd, I want to switch gears real quick, man. Gervonta said, I'm not signed to a single soul. So is Tank now a free agent, or is he still signed with Mayweather Promotions?
Well, this is the Mayweather Deji press conference. So I'm here to talk about Dubai. I'm here to talk about entertaining the people, having fun. And I'm not here to talk disrespectful or bad about any fighter. You know, they say America is the land of the free. You know, so we live, we love, and we keep striving each and every day. That's what life is about.
Davis has reunited with longtime coach Calvin Ford. Ford's relationship with Davis runs deep, built on trust, discipline, and mutual respect. Their collaboration early in Davis's career shaped championship performances, and now they've aligned again. Ford's return brings strategic clarity. He knows Davis's strengths, temperament, and tendencies better than any external coach. With Ford back in camp, Davis regains a familiar voice, one that recognizes both in-ring spark and offering stability.
100% correct. Personally, I had Gervonta Davis up a round. Because whenever you have rounds where nobody's doing anything, I'm not just going to do what most people do, and especially people that don't like Gervonta Davis, which is just give the round to the other guy because Gervonta Davis didn't manage to knock him out that round. Okay, so this is Gary Russell Jr. clearly saying, man, no, I don't think Lamont Roach won that fight. You also had Al Bernstein, and Al Bernstein, I'm telling you, is a very, very straight, fair guy who I don't know if he was on that call, but he used to work with Showtime. I don't know if he was on there. I don't recall if I heard him. I think it was Rolly Ronaldo that was calling it. But Al Bernstein, who was a very, very objective person, said, hey, look, no. Sorry to break it to you, but Gervonta Davis won that fight. Yeah, Lamont Roach put up a really good fight, but Lamont Roach was not dynamic. He did not do anything to really separate himself from Gervonta Davis. He just kept it equal. He just tried to keep it even the entire fight. And that's not enough, again, to take the belt from the champion. Now, I do want to say that the people that thought that Lamont Roach won, I don't have any problem with that. I really don't have a problem with it at all. I personally, again, had a point for Gervonta Davis, but I can see how those swing rounds really could go, you know, depending on who's looking at it, really could go different.
Kenny Ellis's inclusion adds another layer of preparation. Ellis, a veteran with an acute tactical mind, is overseeing technical refinement and performance consistency. His coaching emphasizes mid-fight adjustments and round-by-round strategy, preparing Davis to adapt dynamically. Ellis's presence in the corner will be crucial. He'll analyze Roach's patterns live, correct Davis's positioning, and reinforce game plan pivots. Together, Ford's familiarity and Ellis's analytical approach form a powerful Coaching duo The Davis-Ford partnership is characterized by intangible chemistry. Ford knows Davis's instincts, his natural tendencies, reaction patterns, and the mental triggers that ignite peak performance. Their rapport transcends standard coaching. It's an alchemy of experience, emotion, and in-ring intuition. That energy, a blend of accountability and mutual belief, provides confidence and resilience, especially under pressure. Davis enters the camp not just physically prepared but psychologically reinforced.
Think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer. And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table. And he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing.
On the other side, Lamont Roach is approaching this rematch with measured focus. He's publicly declared respect for Davis's power and acknowledged that the first fight exposed gaps in his own approach. Roach's camp aims for comprehensive preparation, analyzing thousands of minutes of Davis's footage, drilling against southpaw angles, and sharpening his high-tempo pressure game and treating this rematch as a fresh slate. Roach is refusing to rely on past successes.
How many rematches have you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Industry insiders have highlighted a key nuance. Davis's fall in the first fight may not have been a knockout. It was reportedly triggered by slippery hair product irritants in his eyes. This framing transforms that moment from a point of weakness into a fluke for Davis's supporters. This detail is vindication. It underscores that flaw, but also that resolution is straightforward. Improve attention to detail, eliminate external distractions, and tighten preparation. It's a technical fix with major implications. Davis's camp maintains confidence in their original game plan. Pre-fight strategy targeted Roach's footwork patterns and response times. They acknowledge breakdowns in execution, mistiming, and caution in key windows. This cycle of performance analysis has informed renewed emphasis on sharper offensive entries and mid-round assertiveness. The narrative is not reinvention but refinement. Davis knows what works now. He's ensuring he delivers it consistently under pressure.
Got a good chin. Oh, he got a good chin. If you got a good chin, okay, let's go ahead. Let's touch this. The chin ain't the only thing that can get you out of there. There's other things you can do and then go back to the chin. I won't go into details, but I look at shit different from a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a fighter that listen, he's gonna be a hell of a fighter if he listens to what I tell him. All fighters don't listen because some missions you put them on, you gotta walk through hell to get it done. And every fighter is not willing to walk through hell. You know what I mean? But the chin is not the only thing to get a fight out of it, and the body's not the only thing to get a fight out of it. It's other shit too, I believe in hurting them. You can hurt him to get it started, you know?
Petey, thank you for the $2. People were surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know?
Jeff Mayweather publicly reacted to the draw, calling it surprising but not scandalous. Standing firmly behind Davis, Jeff framed the result as a performance blip, not evidence of a drop in talent. He acknowledged Roach's bravery yet emphasized that the outcome injected uncertainty into Davis's aura of invincibility. Now Davis must re-establish dominance. Jeff's perspective balances loyalty with realism, speaking to both personal faith and public expectation.
Jeff Mayweather here at the Mayweather Boxing Club. How are you doing, sir?
Okay.
You don't look okay.
No, well, I am.
All right, well, we got this potential rematch. Everybody wants to see Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. First of all, are you surprised that everybody's wanting to see a rematch between these two? Because no one expected it to be a close fight in the first place.
That much is true. And me, myself, I mean, I'm a big Tank fan. And I was shocked. I was shocked at the outcome of the fight.
Who did you have winning the fight?
I had Roach winning the fight.
Do you consider it robbery, or do you lean Roach and are cool with the draw?
I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I mean, the fight was close. But if I was a judge, I would have gave Roach the fight.
All right. Well, talking about this rematch, what do you? I mean, so the one thing Tank always had for him, everyone, he had that kind of almost like Mike Tyson-esque, right? The air of invincibility, the knockout power. People were scared of him, that kind of thing. Do you think what Roach did to him, moving up in weight, and not being a big puncher himself, but able to withstand Tank, that kind of his air of invincibility has maybe been slightly diminished?
I won't say it's been diminished, but I do think that more people, more fighters that probably were afraid of him are not going to be afraid of him anymore.
And do you think that's almost something that can play in Tank's hand, right? Maybe he had an off day. Everybody has an off day, and take him.
Yeah, everybody can have off night, but I think the one thing that is the most important thing that nobody's talking about is the fact that
Shakur Stevenson's commentary offers another dimension. He complimented Roach's stylistic uniqueness and hinted at technical challenges Davis must address. Stevenson's credible praise elevates Roach's position beyond upset potential. It signals a genuine tactical threat. His analysis underscores the rematch's competitive stakes. It isn't Davis reclaiming dominance, it's Davis conquering new variables.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style, with Tank's style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been in all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's going to be the same fighter throughout.
Mikey Garcia emphasized that Gervonta Davis is capable of making the necessary adjustments to win the rematch, believing his skills and experience give him a clear path to victory. However, Garcia warned that physical preparation alone won't be enough. He stressed that Davis must be mentally focused and free from any distractions outside the ring. If Davis enters the fight without full concentration, it could cost him the win. Garcia's perspective highlights the importance of both sharp technique and a Strong mindset suggesting that true success in the rematch will require Davis to be at his best in every way.
Let you go because I know you got a lot of shit to do. Lamont Roach versus Gervonta, the rematch. It looks like it's gonna happen. Hopefully, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, and maybe they get a third fight, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns the Marcus Pacquiao.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you never know.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next.